being recorded.
Was it my voice or was it the computer's voice? Was it my voice or a computer's voice?
I hear your voice. You didn't hear that when it said this call now being recorded? Oh, the sweaty balls thing? That's your voice.
Okay.
Now, what's really important here is that all of the identities of the participants must be touched. So for that purpose, shall call you by your name, Mouth. If I just call you Mouth, Mr. Mouth or Dr. Mouth, that's what I mean. I hope this shit works. Yeah, it seems to have all the functionality of the regular phone. That's cool. I'm delighted. I really am. Is the quality okay on your end? Yeah.
It's not bad.
Alright, good. You sound crystal clear to me.
Nice. How long will I record?
I think it's endless.
What?
I think it's endless. I looked this up the other day because I was looking for alternatives, and Google was the alternative that I found. So I downloaded the app, put in, got the phone number, and I looked up the phone number and just texted it to you because I didn't know what the phone number was. I just had to pick one, so I picked one that was easy. So hopefully that works. And since I'm not on camera, and you're not on camera, we could think about doing the rub one out segment again while we're talking.
What's that?
Where we rub one out while we're having the conversation. Oh, maybe you're not into that. I don't know, it's just an idea. I'm trying to be innovative here, okay? Innovation, that's what people want. People want innovation, like a rub one out segment. Perhaps for the rub one out segment, we'll just, smear a person instead. Actually going through the rigmarole of doing all that. Plus, I kind of like privacy for that, It's a sacred thing. Just me and porn. There's some things in nature that you don't want to fight. When it comes to a man and his porn, it's a beautiful thing. And it's not something that you want to watch, but it's just a beautiful thing that it happens, okay? It happens, and it's wonderful, and you just have to know it's happening somewhere right now. Everyone does it. Right now, someone is rubbing one out to a video of Hunter Biden having sex with Chinese girls.
Who is the one that fucking molested the kid? Was it Joe Biden or Hunter Biden?
Hunter Biden, but Joe Biden, he did weird things with his daughter, and she's written about it. Because she turned into a nymphomaniac. She really needs sex, and she feels like it's because of how she was brought up. She was at a pretty late age when he was still taking showers with her, and he wiped her for a very long time. That's weird.
Really? He said all that?
His daughter, yeah. Joe Biden's daughter. And I don't know her fucking name.
They said he wiped her?
Yeah, he kept wiping, helping her wipe and stuff, And she just said that it was kind of inappropriate, but ultimately what happened from that sort of thing was, she became very.
What all his daughters were dead for like 2 weeks.
I don't know. This is a diary from his daughter. I have no idea. It's just a diary. I don't know, man. I don't know who's alive and who's dead. I do remember that, like, what was his wife and his daughter died in a car accident or something? Wasn't it something like that? It made her promiscuous, is what her conclusion was. Very promiscuous. I don't know, man. There's a lot of rumors about a lot of things. And I don't know what to believe is real anymore. So you kind of just, like, I don't really chase that rabbit hole. I let these kids stay up late and I got one sleeping on the floor. Oh, no. Hey, sweetheart. You want to go to bed?
I'm already in.
Get upstairs to bed.
I'm already in bed.
Give me a kiss. Those aren't for you, Mr. Mouse. These are for you. Those were for you. Mommy gets bed, please. Okay?
Sure. Touching the dick. Those are funny.
Those people are, all those oligarchs are terrible, disgusting pedophiles. That's what I think. All of them. Corruption runs rampant. I don't know what it is about having all that money, but they just get bored with like regular stuff and they end up pursuing the oddest things. Like, I don't know why they do all the things they do. It's crazy though. Mr. Mouse. Been watching the news at all?
Not really.
Good. That's what I wanted to hear. Really, that's what I wanted to hear. That is fantastic, because no matter where you live in this country, if you watch the news, it just drives people insane. They're telling people, Thanksgiving's canceled. And hey, happy Thanksgiving, because it's Thanksgiving right now. I suppose that could depend on what part of the world you're in, and I never know that. But, yeah, it's Thanksgiving, and people are all supposed to stay at home and stuff. Not in my state, though. It's all good here. But still, there's all the people that are like, oh, well, we shouldn't do this, and we shouldn't do that. I'm like, okay, fine. Too many people would bother me. Make me feel claustrophobic. I guess I don't like crowds.
Joe Biden denies acting inappropriately with women. I mean, it's like every fucking video I ever see Crayon, it's like she almost slowly kind of like finger blasting them from behind as like testing them.
Yeah. Yeah. The most that people have on Trump, where they say that he is like incestuous or anything like that is when he says that his daughter is hot, you know. And that's not the worst thing a dad has ever said about a daughter.
I thought all
Really?
his kids were good, by the way. I thought all his kids were good.
Except for Hunter, right?
Yeah.
Are there any others? Is his daughter still alive?
I thought they died. That's why I was like,
Well, information's still out there, man. History's still important. But you always have to question something like that. Like, just like you would question, like, you know, all the stuff that came out about Hunter, you know, with the computers. You have to, like, look into the evidence and say, hey, what makes this authentic? And I have to assume that it's not. And that should be the first assumption. You go through, and if you're proven wrong, then you see that maybe there's some facts to it. And with the Biden's daughter's diary, you'd have to look through that information yourself. I mean, I read what was in it, but I didn't like read a detailed analysis for how it was acquired and all that, because that's not what I was interested in. You ask different questions than me, but everybody does. That's how it goes. A fucking car battery died, dude. I had to get a new car battery. It's just an awful time of year for that sort of thing to be happening, you know? It's like $200. Christmas money. My wife is still buying those damn tailor-mades every day, too.
woman.
Sometimes she doesn't even tell me about it. Like, hey, what you doing out here smoking a tailor-made when I'll be here smoking these rolled ones, huh? Dang. And those tailor-mades ain't no joke. They're $7 a box, or $8 or $9 a box, depending on where you buy it. They are the organic American spirits, so they're great. They taste better than anything else out there. It makes Marlboros taste like cardboard. But, you know, that's not a good thing. You don't want to have the best of the best when you're trying to quit. Right?
Yeah.
You're trying to deny yourself and cut yourself off, and you're not doing any good if you're going to continue to go back to getting the tailor-mades. Damn it. Hey, it's hard to quit smoking, man. And who knows? Maybe this whole time while I've been smoking, this nicotine has been coating my lungs and making it so that the virus can't cling to it, you know? Science! I got that science for you. Yeah. I know you eat, you poop. That's the type of information I got. That's science, homie. That's my reliance is on science.
The reliance on something.
Mm-hmm. So every time we put out a video on Crayon, what I usually do is I'll put like a little bit of intro music before I come on, just to give myself a chance to get acclimated, you know. And every damn time I'll share it with my mom, and she'll go out there like something's wrong. Your video's not there. It's just some music playing in the beginning. What? today, and it was hard, man. I was going through the manipulation of the tests that they did for the vaccine. And for the case of one vaccine, they did a test that included just over 40,000 people. Well, basically, of these 40,000 people, they gave about just over 90 people the actual vaccine. The rest were just, they were given the sugar pill, basically. But what they did with the numbers is bizarre, because they based it on the entire test group. And I was telling my mom this, I'm like, look, so they based the side effects on the entire test group to make it look low. And she's like, okay. I'm like, you get what I'm saying? She's like, no. And I was like, Mama? Great. I gotta cut all that out. My mom's the biggest fan. She was ready to donate some money to me so we could get so I could get a background screen. What all I need is a green piece of cloth. Green screens, technology. I could have 10,000 TV screens behind me if I want. It's really easy to key it in now. They're making this technology so simple. It could look like we're both in the same room talking seamlessly. Of course, I'd have to blur out your face or something.
So she doesn't get mad about her investment.
What investment? Who? What? Wait, what are you talking about? No. My mom wants to make an investment, that's fine. The Patreon is up and it's ready to pop. I just need to list it. In the next video I tag, start getting some people on it and start putting it out with some tweets. My mom and her husband, they're into watching Alex Jones and stuff now. My mom got more into it since I started explaining to her that, when it comes to Alex Jones, I think he's a complete lunatic, but a lot of the stuff he says can be proven. So take it with a grain of salt.
It's strange because a lot of the stuff he says,
I know.
None of it like provable.
It's insane. But I found that when you go chasing rabbits down holes, you're gonna find something interesting. And that's all Alex Jones does. Chasing those rabbits. It's exhausting. For a while after the whole Epstein thing was happening, I started doing some research on it. A whole Cuties documentary, and found a lot of very interesting things without seeing anything disgusting, which was the most important thing to me. Although if you look into Hunter Biden, you're going to see some disgusting things. I'll just say that right now. Don't do it. It's like watching Two Girls, One Cup on purpose, or a Serbian film. Never watch a Serbian film. That's an awful, awful, awful movie. Oh my God. All the movies in the world you watch, do not waste your time watching that movie. It is horrible. Anyway, a Serbian film. Of course, you're going to look it up.
Yeah, probably not.
Yeah, don't watch that movie. It's bad. Yeah, you look into the Hunter Biden stuff. It's some disgusting things. But I looked into all the Epstein, Ghislaine Maxwell stuff. It's all very provable. There's a lot to it. It's frustrating that this was all happening. There's so so many powerful people that are involved. I don't know what to say. James Biden has an island about James. So for Joe Biden scenes with all his sniffles and stuff, I was wary of him around your children, because he could have just traveled to his brother's island any time and then taken a little rowboat over to Epstein's. They weren't far away from each other. How is James Biden affording an island, man? How did that happen?
They've been paid very handsomely as of late.
They have been, but like his family's been enriched so much. How do people not see how corrupt that is when your family becomes enriched because of who you are as an elected official? When they use your influence to gain access to businesses and their money just so that you could be a face for them or anything, you know? You get contracts. It's all so corrupt. Their families are all so tied up in it, all the Democrats. If they keep it in the family, I'm not saying they don't, I'm sure they do. It's just, this has been the year of discovery of just how bad they all are. Like, I know a lot of people go crazy on these like election machines, and I don't really think that that's where they should be looking, but the Carlyle Group, which is like involved through the Clinton Foundation, is like intimately tied in with the Carlyle Group, and the Carlyle Group is connected to all this stuff, all the Dominion software stuff, and the software that they used in California that had a different name. It's pretty crazy. The Carlyle Group is just a group of the wealthiest oligarchs in the world. Their little investment firm think tank. It's all evil. Invest in them while you can. You're gonna get rich. Unless, morals. For me, it's just broke. Don't want to profit off of bloody hands. What can you do? All money comes from blood.
Do you think they killed Princess Anne?
I think that the circumstances surrounding her death were really weird, man. With the paparazzi chase and everything that happened, it seemed like it was a setup of some sort.
It's weird that they couldn't apprehend those particular paparazzi guys. Thinking about it.
Accidents happen, though.
They do. But there's no word of it was all staged away from the paparazzi. It was just like, okay, it happened while they were meeting them, but that was it. No, like, harassing or anything brought up.
There's been so many people that have been murdered, and I don't know why it's all happened, but I think that with Diana, it was just like her indiscretions were getting too indiscreet. You know, it was looking bad for business. Weren't they getting divorced or something? I think they were on their way out.
Yeah, I think they were done. I think she was fucking that like Russian dude or whatever.
Yeah. I just think she had to be eliminated for some reason, for something that she knew, and maybe she made like a fair threat to them in a conversation. Hey, I might let this, if you don't shut, you know, that type of thing would be seen as impossible to let someone live with for the secrets that these people have. I mean, that one Prince guy, what's his name, Andrew?
Yeah.
The one who was friends with Epstein? that guy has done some things. He's been a very bad boy. Not cool. This is tea. Not what I wanted. I thought it was going to be cider. Well, at least it's caffeine free. Apple cinnamon tea. I was hoping for some sort of a cider powder, to be honest with you. But I will give this a shot. I'm a brave soul sometimes. This is for science. Oh, man. I watched a new video tonight from Media Bear, those guys who make all the songs about masks, and they redid Neverland from Metallica, off Never Neverland.
Okay.
They did it very well. I'll just say that. You should watch. It's great. All of their videos are about exposing the hypocrisy of the ways that the media has blown up the coronavirus. You know? A lot of disturbing things.
Like what?
Oh, like, people rolling around in their cars with their masks, and, like, they'll make fun of that. They'll make fun of people that are now masking in their house. Like, you have to wear your mask in your house now. Wear your mask around your family. And they just make fun of it all. And they do parody songs like Weird Al would, but they're about masks. It's really well done. Hilarious. Aside from Viva Free on YouTube, I think it's some of the best content on YouTube. And if you've never watched Viva Free yet, they're blowing up. Wow. He's an ex-lawyer that just talks. Man, that show is getting huge. They're getting more viewers than, like, all of the mainstream media YouTube channels combined, you know? It's nuts. I love seeing it too. I love seeing the little guy overtake the big guy. It's just, David and Goliath. Classic story. It's become us versus the media. When I say us, I mean everyone that's not in the mainstream media. Yeah, as soon as things calmed down a little bit from, the celebration of Joe Biden winning, I don't know if you noticed, now they're really, really focusing in on COVID again. That's like the main focus now. Very interesting.
I guess. What would be great is if nobody paid attention to him and just kept on listening to Trump all the time. That would have been hilarious.
That would be fantastic. I would love it if people did that. I don't understand why there's any push to have someone censored that is willing to be an open book. You have to really think, why do you have this thought in your mind that this person that is a complete open book should in any way have any of their words curtailed or censored, when it's so fantastic to see all of the transparency and all of the information that they put out, their stupidity, any brilliance that they might have ever had, put it all out there on public record. That's what we've done before. There's never been a precedent where we try to censor the president. It just hasn't happened. It's really weird. We're in bizarro land. And, after this year, like, if abnormal things keep happening, we're kind of just, like, could grow accustomed to it. We're used to the weirdest things in the world happening now. It's true. If an alien spacecraft came down right now, I don't think anyone would really think that much of it. I mean, like, that's interesting, but we have this virus. Keep focusing on that. I gotta wear my mask. I just got a new one. Sheesh. What's wrong with everybody? 2020 is the year everyone lost their minds. Well, except for you. You're the only one. I'm sure everyone else in your family lost their minds too. And if they didn't, this isn't the time to speak of it.
There's nothing to be said about that.
Good.
It is what it is.
Most of the time it is. Was what it is. It is what it was. Alright. I'm going to drink some of this cinnamon apple tea. Probably have to add a lot of honey to it. If the sugars that you get in honey are any better for you than, like, even unprocessed sugars. I've heard unprocessed sugars are bad for you too. I don't know. Seems like everything's bad for you to taste good. Except for me. Delicious meat. Oh. Right. Something. Is that TV in the background?
My YouTube on my phone is playing.
Wow.
I don't think you should be able to hear that.
No, it sounds like it's in the distance. I'm hearing it through the microphone.
Oh.
If anything, that's how I'm hearing it.
Yeah. I got this cold yesterday. So my girlfriend picked me up a big piece of chocolate cake from Mom's.
That's terrible. It's not good for a cold.
No, but it's delicious.
Yeah, it is comfort. Aren't you supposed to starve a cold?
Yeah.
Yeah, chocolate cake wouldn't do good for the cold, but chocolate cake, that's love. Chocolate cake is love.
I'm really disgusted with it because I'm trying to do this whole keto thing, right? So, like, I chew this thing and I waft it and I spit it out.
You're crazy. can't believe you're doing that.
Crazy like a balloon.
At least stand by the sink when you're, wafting, whatever you want to call it.
I do. My girlfriend calls this ritual spit and chew.
So, obviously, since you're never going to get full, what has to happen is your girlfriend has to get you like an entire layer of cake to do it with.
No, my jaws get tired because I have to chew extra to make up for the lack of swallowing.
It kind of sounds like self-torture. Is there anything that fills that void in you for wanting to, like, have something in your belly at that moment, or do you just eat something right afterwards that your keto allows?
There's an answer, but it's not good for the sponsors.
I don't want to sponsors. Oh, no. Alright, but energy censorship. Unless the sponsor says no. Oh, well, you kind of control the content. That's right.
I wonder what companies are afraid of by sponsoring somebody that swears.
I don't know. Like, and what's up with like people, like comedians, right? Like if you go on YouTube and search out comedians, they'll be saying the raunchiest stuff about the nastiest topics and cussing and monetizing. And then you'll go over to someone who accidentally lets one F word out in their stream, and then the whole thing is demonetized. Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
Why is this happening like this? It just doesn't make sense. Why are people begging for more censorship? Dum-dums. Being nice.
I think people are too stupid to realize that they're begging for more control now.
Yeah, maybe they are, but how do they not see it? But, when I think about it and I look at it, I'm like, yeah, they don't see that they're trying to have less control over their lives and give over all of the control to their masters. I don't get it. I don't want anyone to control me. It's like I said in my new rhyme. I will defy every time that they ask us to bow to the ass because they foul in their fashion. I spend most of my life on my knees. I'd have to stand up just for them. Shit. I said I spend most of my life kneeling on my knees. Although the first time I said it had a little more oomph. But I'd stand up just for them. Just to say, nope, I won't kneel for you. Even if it really hurt. Yeah, I spend a lot of time in a meditation stance. Not really doing yoga, it's just the most comfortable thing for me. I don't like sitting. Laying hurts. So I stand. I can kneel. I can kneel remarkably well for the problems that I have. Because, I have no muscles in my legs, so it's really easy for me. So I can kneel and I can... that's it. Kneel, crouch, and when I lay down, it has to be on the right side or it's going to hurt. They just doubled my pain meds. Fun.
Why did they double your pain meds?
Because I'm in pain. It's real bad. We don't always discuss it, but why not? I mean, people should hear stuff like that. That, you know, people are in pain. What happens in the winter here in the Midwest? All the moisture gets sucked out of the air. The fronts keep moving through constantly. Barometric pressure changes are vicious. My doctor actually recommended to me to go to Arizona, or he also recommended some island down in the Caribbean. I can't even remember what it was. But he said the high there year round is 85 and the low is like 68. It was like perfect. He said that's good for pain people. It's funny that it is my plan to move to Arizona. That was mostly economic, but it's better for pain. Excellent. Let me just finish mixing this delicious drink that I had to make more delicious by putting honey in it. So you didn't answer my question. Is honey any better for you than regular sugar?
No.
Any worse?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
But honey does help you with allergies. It's important in the Midwest to use local honey.
Like, to that effect.
Yeah, that's a different issue entirely. But ultimately, consuming massive amounts of honey isn't going to be the best thing for you if you have problems with sugars. Got it. Yeah, man, I've been kind of telling some of my friends about, from my perspective, a little bit about what we were speaking on the other day regarding sugars and the toxicity and the acidity that it creates in your body and ways to burn it off. And a lot of people are very interested in it. How the timing of your diet can help you if you're diabetic, all that stuff. Insane, you know?
It's very important that the average person doesn't know this stuff, though.
Well, these aren't average people. Not at all.
Well,
these are doctors and journalists.
Spreading the word either.
Why? Why?
Because we need majority of the average people to die.
Oh, okay. Well, the people that I'm speaking of are some of the most oppressed people on social media that have everything censored and no one believes them about anything. So it's cool.
If they had normal people like me and you surviving to long ages, they wouldn't know what to do. Because
they wouldn't be bad. I gotta tell you, I'm over 40 now. I've just barely begun to be someone who has an idea and a direction for how they want to have their place, not as just a person that makes money or anything, but as a person that has a place in society and in the media matrix, you know, like just having a little say, little voice. But it's taken me this long to want for that, and to have like a lot of definition of character and the knowledge that comes with that. So I can see the older you get, if they can make you stupid, that's good, because I've seen some old guys that when they have their intellect, they're unstoppable. When it comes to like a debate or something, or just anything, like an incredible conversationalist. There's really healthy old men, muscular, and they're stronger than the young guys. Even if they don't look it, you know, they can be leaner and stronger than a big buff guy. Still beat them in arm wrestling. Mind over matter?
Mind over matter.
I'm not going to say that anyone could think themselves healthy. But if you think, you'll be healthy. Tomorrow is going to be purge fed. Everyone eats enough herbs to put themselves in hospitals and amplify the death rate for the next 3 weeks. Was I talking with you about death rates earlier?
Yeah.
It's just so crazy that we're going to have, like, a lower death rate this year than we did in 2018. I don't remember a pandemic in 2018.
When was swine flu?
When was swine flu? I believe that happened, 2014, I want to say. I don't recall. Wasn't handled that well.
Better than this.
Well, better than this, I suppose, but that was more dangerous.
But at the risk of sounding cliche, anything's better than this.
I suppose you're right about that, but I mean, look, man. This is the least lethal virus in history to shut down the world. It's the only time in history where you have to be tested to confirm that you have an illness, just to make sure, because you might not. You know, when the Black Plague was setting into, what was it? San Francisco. Remember? Have you heard about that? Well, they had the Black Plague in San Francisco.
Okay.
Anyway, it happened early 20th century. Black Plague in San Francisco. Some woman had a big lump on her leg. Turned out it was a lymph node that had turned black. And it was a definite sign that the Black Plague had arrived. So the Black Plague started spreading. Luckily, something happened not too long after that. The Great Fire in San Francisco kind of burned all of the disease away. Funny how it works out. We almost had an outbreak of the plague, the Black Plague. The United States.
And where was it?
Where was it? San Francisco. When? Early 20th century. Right before the Great Fire in San Francisco. Where everything burned. That's what stopped it.
The plague stopped it?
No, that's what stopped the plague. The fire.
Oh.
It burned all the filth, the feces, the rats, the blood, bodies. All that shit got burned.
I don't know if I believe that.
Huh?
I don't know
Well,
if
a lot
I
of
believe
shit
that.
got burned up, but there's a lot of other factors that they used to isolate the plague ultimately and nip it in the bud, so they say, you know? Get rid of it. It's frosty. It's getting cold here. Everything's covered in a layer of frost. Kind of like my buds. Got the keys right now. I had some edibles that, like, they're so damn sticky when you chew on them. It's like worse than a Jolly Rancher.
Yeah.
Feels like my teeth are gonna come out of my mouth.
Like worse than Laffy Taffy?
Worse, yes. Wow. They made the stickiest, most viscous concoction. It's like, why do that? You know, that's just the sugar concentration. I mean, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because that's how you get that effect. That's what taffy is, basically. But yeah, you get that effect by just putting too much sugar in the mix and cooking it too long, and yeah. I prefer gummies. Once in a while, some of them make it out all the way out here in the Midwest. Most of the time, people want to charge you like $20 for one or something. It's like crazy.
For one what?
For one, like a gram gummy.
Oh.
That just seems like a lot to me, so I wouldn't buy that. I'd rather get the... Huh?
$20?
$20 for a gram gummy. That's ridiculous. I mean, as far as the content, pretty high, but I'd rather have a bunch of gummies.
What I find funny is now is like these assholes selling these like $100, couple $100 blunts.
Stupid. I've seen blunts for thousands of dollars, dude.
Yeah.
Like, what's his name? 2 Chainz. He was hanging out with these two guys. You've seen them. You've seen that. It's just ridiculous. I can't believe. And it's not even worth all that. What they put into it? Nope. Not worth that.
2 douchebags, like, from, like, who the fuck knows where. Clearly not California, because, like, if you're Californian, you would never think you're going to be able to find a schmuck to buy, like, $1,000 blunt from you.
Yeah, that's stupid. That's like some idiot from Colorado or something, some rich guy like, hey, I need to make these blunts.
Yeah, you were so, like, far behind on the bandwagon, like, weed's been legal so long, why would it be so expensive?
Yeah.
And then they had the cockamamie story about, like, oh, it's aged well. And one of them he couldn't even give to 2 Chainz for sale because it was aged well.
Jesus Christ. Aged well, huh?
Yeah.
That's the stupidest thing.
Yeah. Because 2 Chainz can't even handle his herb. He likes to walk around like hitting everything's blunt like he's like Snoop Dogg and the king of herb. But like,
you know, they had to do that with 2 Chainz because if they did that with Snoop Dogg, he would have called bullshit on him.
Yeah.
Come on. It's like, what is that? Like 3 grams of wax? Motherfucker, that's like $60 there. Like, what is that? A gram of butt? That's like $20. Motherfucker, you trying to charge me thousands of dollars for $80 blunt? They're like, yeah, CBD crystals and THC crystals. You stupid, dumb motherfucker. Who cares? Yeah, that's some bullshit. And out here, dude, we have one shop for the entire Kansas City area. So you have to like call and reserve a time to go in. And then when you go in, they charge like $500 an ounce.
For what?
Out here in Missouri, we have one dispensary because it just became medical. So you have to call, make a reservation to go get it, to pick it up. And it's like $500 an ounce, all the way up. $60 they do, $60 eighths for low grade. They have some high grade that would be mid grade for me. I'm smoking like a god over here. It's fucking ridiculous.
Why?
Because people are paying so much money. California is like, God. You get a lot out of California. See, I can't even think like California because, like, at this point, California's like, oh, okay, I can just get a pound for a gram. Like, I can't even think like that because out here, if you want to get a pound, it's going to cost you thousands of dollars, dude. so different. It's ridiculous. And the black market rules are, period. And I'll mess with any markets. Fuck all that. Make your own lane. Yeah, the temperature's dropping. Ridiculous. Let me see what it is. Give me just a second here. What is the damn temperature right now? $30 degrees. 2 degrees too cold. But when you live in the Midwest and it drops down to like 15 degrees, you're begging for a 30-degree day. You'll be out in a t-shirt after you've gone through a month of 20-degree days. There were times I lived in places where they like didn't scrape ice or anything. Ice would just build up on the street for months. One time we had an ice storm and I had to spend that, and the heater on our car went out, so I was outside chipping ice off the car for like 2 hours. Rough living. I don't know why anyone ever settled here. I would have just kept going on. Like, that ain't it. Harsh, humid summers, cold, dry winters. Just, you know, the best of both worlds, I guess. I'm going to take a dab with you, my friend. It is time. You'll just have to live vicariously. My wife bought a gram of some wax from a local person. Smallest gram I've ever seen in my life. I used to get.
Are you saying it wasn't a gram, or are you saying that it was dense?
It was not dense. No, it was not a gram. That's the problem. I used to get my grams. I used to get packages of nothing but grams. I kind of know what a gram looks like. That wasn't
I feel like we were some of the first people making grams.
Huh?
I feel like we were some of the first people making grams of that stuff.
We were in the beginning, yeah. If we had kept at it, we would have moved right into processing sub-zero for live resin, because it's just simple and it takes a lot less time. You just finish your grow off, don't wait for it to cure at all because you want it fresh, freeze it off, press it out, you're done. And a lot of people like throw away like bad material. I'm like, whoa, don't throw away any bad material because you have to see what your wax is going to look like first. It could turn out great. You can make magic out of garbage plant material if you know how to press it and you know how to process it. It can only be as good as its full capabilities. But if you know how to like pull that out of it, then you're gonna have some good stuff. I still say best part of the game is the people who are selling the hydroponic setup. Once a new market opens up, if you do that, that's where you're gonna become a very wealthy person who could retire in the next few years, so long as you don't start growing in your hydro sales facility. I've seen so many idiots lose their business because of that. So, worse. I don't know what's going to happen in Arizona because their laws are so free. I mean, anybody can grow out the back of their yard. It's nuts. It's the best cannabis legislation that's been passed in the United States so far. The best. Freest. So you're going to see a lot of people that are in the cannabis industry immediately make a beeline for Arizona now, which is not what I want to see. I don't care for that. But it'll happen. Then they'll just drive the price down like they did in Oregon. It's real low in Oregon. People will get $50 ounces and stuff. It would get bad. That is just a crashed economy. Not worth what you put into it. Kind of the problem with California. If you don't know what you're doing, it's not going to be worth what you put into it. You have to put too much into it to begin with. No room for error. Oh, there's my torch. What's up? Still with me, man?
Yeah.
Cool. That's what it is. It's on.
Yeah, but have you seen somebody have a seizure from smoking concentrate? Possible. Yeah, that could have been happening a lot.
Could be. But you see, some people shouldn't be messing with those types of levels. And that's the problem. When people go full on, unafraid of death, high, probably gonna mess yourself up. I'm sure many more people have had seizures from conventional medication than dabbing ever.
I think that's a bias based on time.
What?
Yeah.
You said bias based on science?
Based on time. I really think that. Yeah,
that person who had a seizure, I
think a lot of people are having them and they just don't report it.
Huh?
I think a lot of people are having them, they just don't really report it because it's like some dumb teenager in a basement somewhere.
Possible. So, and a lot of people that are having seizures were already susceptible to seizures. And what really needs to be done is the study, seeing, what is the causation and it needs to be figured out. And I think that we're finally at a point where we could do studies like that so that people don't risk their life doing something stupid because concentrates are a big high. They're for people that are in a lot of pain. They're for people that have seizures, and those people that have seizures have to understand the type of strain that they're using, and they have to understand how much to use. There's a lot of things that you have to put into it. I mean, you can't just go at everything without no education, because you can mess yourself up no matter what you're doing. If you drink too much water, you're going to kill yourself.
You're going to kill yourself with good skin.
What?
You're going to kill yourself with good skin.
Good skin? Maybe.
Yes.
Yeah, you're going to kill yourself. Jack it off. What the hell?
Water, hydration, good skin.
Yeah. Kill yourself with good skin. I'm talking about like those times that radio stations have had people drinking water and then they killed themselves from drinking too much. Like, causes of, like, internal hemorrhaging and shit. Like, that's horrible. I hope those hosts went to jail or something, because they're the ones who, you know, are responsible for that. Normally, people would push themselves to such limits.
I don't think those hosts knew that drinking water would kill somebody.
Well, normally it doesn't. Normally people don't drink those types of amounts because they're not doing it for money.
Well, again, regardless, I don't think a host would ever think that even large amounts of water would kill somebody.
Yeah,
so that is
but
exactly.
it can absolutely happen. So with oxygen, you're gonna die.
Yeah, I bet you most people don't know that.
And most people are pretty stupid. But I'm not that smart, and I know that.
I don't know. I don't think that's like a common man thing. But you're also overestimating the common man a lot.
We're going to lose all of our common man listeners. What are you doing? Whenever someone's like, I'm not going to follow you anymore, I'll be like, good, I don't have any followers. Everyone that is in line with me is a leader. Good. No followers wanted. You're not going to be a leader, then don't bug me. Because our society is at a point now where everyone has to do their part and take the lead in some way, shape, or form to inform people or just show that they care about people or something. Go feed a homeless guy on the street. Do something, you know? Anything. It's better than sitting there and virtue signaling on social media about how great you are. Go feed a homeless person. It'll change the world. One homeless person, one meal, change the whole world. Might save their life. Might give them the strength to go and rob a place and kill someone. You're going to change the world one way or the other. Point is to change things. It's like we're living in that movie, They Live. We're the ones with the collapse.
That movie was great.
It is. It's fantastic. I wish that John Carpenter had kept going right down that lane of making that type of movie. But there's only so many times that you can do that with so much irony for the twist at the end and like the crescendos through the middle of the tale. Fantastic. The way he did it.
I'm just shocked he's still alive.
He is. They say the good die young. He's probably an evil man. Who knows? Oliver Stone's still alive.
Who?
Oliver Stone.
Oh.
Sean Connery died.
Yeah.
Barely heard about that. And, Trebek died.
Who?
Alex Trebek just died. The host of Jeopardy.
Yeah.
And the only time, and I hadn't even heard that Sean Connery was dead, and I'm like, what are all these memes with Sean Connery in heaven? I'm like, oh man, Sean Connery's dead? That breaks my heart. And everyone's like, why? He's a sexy man. Because he's James Bond. I don't care if you think he's sexist. He's not. Bill Cosby, really funny guy at one point. You're gonna judge him completely? Oh wait a minute, yeah, Bill Cosby's just crap. Never mind.
You know what's weird is nobody wanted to be like, oh, Bill Cosby didn't do that.
Yeah.
Like, why did a bunch of women wait, like, 20 plus years, I believe, to, like, report it?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you...
How about the Michael Jackson documentary they put out? Oprah put out the Leaving Neverland. Why'd that have to come out so late?
What was that about?
That was about some people coming forward and saying that Michael Jackson actually had done bad things to them. And then shortly after that, Michael Jackson's niece came out and said that was all a bunch of BS because she actually dated one of the guys that was involved in that, and he was just talking out of his ass.
Which is kind of weird, for Michael Jackson's niece saying that. Okay. You know what I mean? Like, she doesn't have an interest in him looking nothing.
Well, obviously she would have an interest in protecting her uncle. Of course. Now, here's the thing. What are we to believe? What is the BS? What is the truth? Most of the time, it's somewhere in the middle. I mean, you can stop listening to Michael Jackson if you want. I prefer to continue listening to Michael Jackson. Good music. That song that they play at every football game. That boom, 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 boom. That song was written by like a pedophile. He moved to the Philippines.
Who?
The guy who wrote that song.
Yeah, I get it. Who?
They play at all the stadiums and stuff.
I know. What's his name?
I can't remember his name, man. But he was a famous pedophile. Man, I'm just talking here, man. You can't expect me to fight you. I will, though, if you want me to. I ain't gonna do that when I'm inside. You have to wait till, like, tomorrow.
You know what's so funny about you saying that right now? I believe, like, that's the reason. I think that guy is, like, his name's, like, Eddie something. I don't know. He's an English guy.
Okay.
And I think he was the reason I first started potentially giving, like, all this Epstein crap a bunch of weight, because I remember seeing that court case where that kid was claiming that, like, there's all these like people involved in pimping him out, and he was raped by he had said all these, like, famous, like, buckets, and I'm just like, whoa, that's a pretty big claim, right? And they, like, laughed him out of court and stuff. But then, sure enough, like, this one of those guys got busted at one of their little parties, because he said he was flown to this island, given a bunch of cocaine, and at gunpoint held and forced off sex. And he was raped by like, Bryan Singer and a couple other dudes. And it was crazy because I feel like one of the dudes is like I think a lot of these people are like trying to make plea bargains right now with everybody they've ever fucking like raped, every child they've ever raped, so that they're you know hushed up. But like, cause you don't see them in the limelight anymore. You don't even hear about Bryan Singer anymore. And how many of these fucking Marvel movies did this asshole make, right? And it's funny because now, so like there was the first guy. They popped that singer in like Vietnam or something, having sex with little boys, whatever it was. They brought him back to like England or wherever, and they busted his ass. And I mean, you can only imagine how bad he was acting down there for them to have to extradite him.
Yeah.
And then,
for them to allow them.
Yeah, he's probably doing some crazy stuff to kids out there.
Yeah.
And then, so that's when I first started listening to this crap. And then I remember hearing how, like, Bill Clinton's security detail was told to, like, kick back while he flew to this island with Epstein. And I thought that was pretty weird. I'm like, why would President of the United States even bother to deal with that kind of scenario? I would be like, no, I think I'm just going to kick it back here with my security detail that protects me with their life, instead of going with you to some random island where I could get fucking kidnapped, so that's when I first started thinking, I'm like, wow, there's some truth to what this little, like, gay little prostitute kid said about all these people.
Yeah. Yeah, some people think that everyone's just making up stories, and people do make up stories, but with what's happening for all the Epstein connections, that's an awful lot of coincidence. And here's
I hope they break.
Ghislaine Maxwell, where is she? Like, no one's talking about her anymore. What are they doing? Are they getting all of the people that she's naming to plea down? Are they busting people? I doubt it.
I mean, dude. Okay, like, apparently her dad worked at like a farmhouse. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you're aware of what that is, but it's like a CIA operations headquarters, basically. And this is what he did, basically what Ghislaine was doing. Like, I'm pretty sure Ghislaine is highly involved with the CIA. I'm pretty sure Epstein was highly involved with the CIA.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as strange as that is,
that's why that was why they gave him like a release, where he could pretty much do anything he wanted, and he was like only had to report in at night under house arrest because he was connected with CIA and Mossad, and that came out from an interview that they did with one of the prosecutors. They couldn't push the issue because of that. That's why they couldn't prosecute him. Yeah, disgusting. Basically, if you think about it, what we're saying here is that he worked for CIA, he worked for Mossad, and he collected information for them, and the information that he was collecting was dirt. And
I'm pretty sure
object was getting them, capturing them, having sex with little kids.
I'm pretty sure that the Mossad actually had him killed in jail, if assuming he is actually dead.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, lately they're doing this huge thing where they basically are Like, who is it? Like, not Obama, but Bin Laden. Bin Laden, they were like, oh yeah, you know what I mean? Like after like a 15-year manhunt, they're like, oh yeah, we found him. He was chilling out at this house in Afghanistan, like a nice little like mansion, and he's chilling. And me and a couple other Delta Force dudes stormed this house, and we shot him. We buried him at sea. So like basically, you know, like they lugged his fucking 6'5" body or whatever to a Black Hawk, flew it all the way back over the ocean into like, you know, an aircraft carrier, you know, where all these Navy SEALs are. And then they decided like last minute they're like gonna give him like his little fucking burial based on American rules and throw his ass overboard.
Whatever.
Yeah, I call bullshit on that, boy.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
I'm like, homeboy is sitting there at one of the nicest clubs in New York, and he's probably doing lines of coke. Right. You know what I mean? He probably has the best doctors on earth with defibrillators there for when he overdoses.
Yeah, I bet him and Hunter Biden right now are chilling in Pakistan, sniffing coke off some hooker's butt.
Yeah. Butthole, for that matter.
Well, you know, Hunter is freaky.
Well, apparently Biden is too.
Yeah. Both,
you know you're the best when you put your knees to the test. Huh?
Dude, I mean, I told you, like, James Biden had an island, and Joe Biden could go visit any time. Didn't have to be on any flight law. Didn't have to have a record.
You know you're the best when you put your daughter to the test.
Oh, God.
And people voted for this guy.
Yeah, people did.
You know, why is it that there's always something about some of these public figures, you know? Like remember that other guy, Weinstein?
Oh, yeah. Harvey Weinstein?
Yeah. Like, that freaking pervert was, like, totally, like, showing his good stuff to, like, some, like, maybe, like, 15-year-old or something, or 16-year-old, like, you know?
Stuff like that. That's why he is in prison.
Yeah, I'm like, looking at his girl, and his chick is kind of cute, actually. And it's just weird that, like, you know what I mean? It's like a pretty normal-looking chick. Like, why are you, like, trying, like, I mean, but clearly, women is not your bag. You're clearly into, like, girls, like little kids and shit.
Oh, okay. I know exactly who you're talking about. And the biggest question is, why the hell did her parents, why were they cool with, like, her being, like, his gopher? Like, oh, yeah, you're only 15, but you can go have a job with Brett Weinstein to hang out with him all the time and spend the night there and basically live there. What?
No. Wasn't it like a babysitter?
I'm not certain, man. They were there all the time, though. I mean, that's the point, is that this person, there was a little kid that ended up being like part of his entourage that was around all this stuff constantly. Why? I don't know. I could be thinking of C.K. I'm not sure.
Louis C.K. ain't that bad. What was he doing? Like whacking off over the phone or something?
Yeah.
That's the same thing that old Fox guy was doing. What was his name?
I'm not
Bill
sure.
O'Reilly. Remember Bill O'Reilly had like a weird issue with like phone sex?
Oh, Bill O'Reilly from Fox? Yeah.
I remember reading The Smoking Gun on that. It was like funny because he basically called up one of the producers from the show and was like trying to talk dirty to her. I thought it was like hilarious.
Yeah, I'm so glad that Tucker Carlson is the one who's replaced him.
Tucker Carlson, yeah. You know who like really I lost interest in is Anderson Cooper, because he used to be kind of an interesting guy, but then the last like couple of years, like having to listen to him, like he wasn't really like pointing out like bad Trump facts. He was just like whining about the dude the whole time, you know.
Dude.
And I feel like Anderson Cooper really is like the reason I don't like Joe Biden.
Listen, Mr. Mouse, listen to me. When you said the name Anderson Cooper, the smirk I had on my face disappeared. Alright? I went straight face when you said his name. I don't like that guy.
Yeah.
He is CIA trained. He's from a CIA family. Anderson Cooper is pure propaganda. He is the product of propaganda. He's like a robot, okay? Like they have bred him specifically to be the perfect tool to spin their lives. And he's untouchable because he's a gay man, you know? Hate that stuff. Just like I was talking about with the AOC stuff, looking at the dirt yard. She was looking at a dirt parking lot crying, like 7 miles from the place, and they just picked that place to do the scene.
For what?
For reaching out to a fence and crying. AOC.
What's up?
It's like the funniest thing in history, man. Like, if you actually, like, look into it. She is an actress. She won a talent contest out of 1,000 entrants with Justice Democrats, and then they ran her for Congress, and she won. And while she was running for Congress, she was also on the board of the Justice Democrats. And since she was on the board of the Justice Democrats, what she was doing was completely illegal because she was directing the money of the ad.
Okay.
During her campaign, running for Congress. And I just saw a story today while I was looking for some information about the squad that she's going to court for tax evasion. Mrs. Socialist doesn't want to pay her taxes. Do you see how ironic this all is?
You know what I think it is? I think it's like it's hilarious because it's just like a game to see who can make the most money.
It is. AOC has made a ton of money off personality and brand. She even came out with a movie on Netflix. I mean, come on. They had to buy that. She is part of the 1% now. At least 5%. I don't know if she's made that much money, but she's doing pretty well for herself. Damn. Good shit. As frosty as it is outside. Yeah. I love it. It's too bad it's not always like this. Burns so perfectly white ash. Leave something behind.
What?
The bud. It burns to a white ash, meaning it's really clean. You know, there's no like chemicals or nutrients that are in the burn off. Because nutrients sometimes get stuck inside flowers and they can make things taste horrible because people don't flush them properly. You're supposed to flush them out. And you can also overflush. Learn that too.
Are you growing right now?
Nope. No, I can't. I'd have to have like all kinds of like licenses and stuff. Well, I'd have to pay $200 to get a license so that I could grow. But then I'd have to find a place in my house where I could grow and have lights because you can't do it outside. It's just, the laws are ridiculous. They work against you here in Missouri. It's where, like in Arizona, you can just go ahead and pop 6 seeds outside and you're set. Arizona's a free state now, man. You're going to see people moving there in droves.
What do you mean?
A lot of people are going to start moving to Arizona that are in the cannabis industry, but also people are going to start moving to Arizona because the cannabis industry there, and because they see that it's like a blue state now, they're going to be like, oh, okay, it's a blue state now. They're going to be really surprised when they get there. It's not really all that blue. It is a beautiful place compared to a lot of places in California. Different. Still a desert, though. Move on up from black widows to tarantulas. Have you ever seen a lot of tarantulas in any desert places that you've lived?
No. Why? That would turn me off from living there.
Yeah. I'm just saying that if you live in the desert, you could live where there's black widow. You can live where there's the brown recluse and those ugly sun spiders, or you can live where there's tarantulas that eat all those things. And giant wasps that plant their babies in tarantulas. Tarantula hawks. Now, tarantula hawks used to live in the place where I grew up. Those things are huge and scary looking. They have red wings. They're big, black. I used to have this salt cedar tree out in front of my house. And they would all go there, the tarantula hawks. And I don't know why they would go there. Maybe they would go there to breed or something, but God, they were scary. I heard the bite is one of the worst in the world, or the sting, because that's stupid. Wasps don't bite. I hate all creatures that can sting you and live. I like that bees die after they sting you.
Yeah.
You can't help it.
You got vengeance.
Well, if they're gonna do that, there's consequences for messing with me like that. The person who goes off and tries to crush the bee is dumb. What are you doing? They're gonna die. They gotcha. Let nature take its course. And go get some mud on your stick.
Go get a mud mat.
When I would get stung when I was a kid by like bees, my mom would put mud on it. Now, out here, put baking soda on it with the baking soda, and that works too.
Neutralize the acid.
Okay. That would happen.
What?
So I'd always get the mud on the stings, no matter where I'd get stung. And then I've told people about it out where I worked in Kansas.
Mm-hmm.
And because sometimes people will get stung, and I'm like, hey, if you got stung by wasps, go out there, pour some water in the dirt, get some mud, put it on there. They looked at me like I was crazy. I'm like, hey man, come on. Look, I'm being serious right now. Go out there, pour some water in the mud, put some water in the dirt, make some mud, and put it on this thing. They're like, whoa, that actually works. It's all about just dumping it. It'll start being like a poultice that pulls out the toxins. Not because it's mud. It's just absorbent.
It's like the brawny of soil.
Mm-hmm. Sure. The brawny of soil. It absorbs it, but it's dirt. So, like, yeah, that doesn't make sense as an allegory or anything. That's not a good comparison. Not at all. But it works. So, it's Thanksgiving now. My wife has to work. And we don't
wife
get
has to
Thanksgiving off.
Your wife has to work?
Yeah, she has to work 10 hours.
How do you guys celebrate Thanksgiving?
Oh, we're gonna go to her mom. We don't have all those crazy laws about not seeing your peeps. That's so sad. It's about control. I saw this story about a mayor in Denver who he told all of his he told everyone, got on a commercial and said, "Don't go out of town." It was his decree. Yeah, just stay at home, don't travel. And then he ended up traveling out of town and go see his family. Yeah, people are really messing up. Gavin Newsom, he went and had a fancy dinner at a restaurant. He's a California guy. Cuomo, he was out when he had COVID with no mask on. It's ridiculous. Ball game. Scandemic. I heard someone they said the greatest thing. They said, masker baiters.
Massacre baiters?
Mask baiters. Oh. You know, the ones that are all about the mask and yelling at people. There's this video of this guy who lost it on these two girls who were hiking and they didn't have their masks on. They're out in the woods and stuff, and so he took off his mask and coughed on him and said he had COVID. Like, that's gross, man. What's wrong with these people? Just let someone go take their hike without a mask. Really? Like in Australia, you gotta get permission from the government to walk your dog. I'm glad we don't have anything like that here yet, but it's coming.
I don't think it'll work where I live.
Good. I don't think it'll work in any, like,
Nobody even pays attention to the 10:30 curfew.
No? You guys have, oh my God. That's what's going on in Cali? Censor again. No one's paying attention to a curfew? And there's a curfew? There's a freaking curfew for grown-ups? This is unbelievable. Oh, man. I can go out right now to the gas station and buy myself something to drink. something to eat. Whatever, you know. Won't be good food. I might be able to score a tea or a coffee. That might not be too bad. Trying to be healthier by not going to places like that for anything. Just making stuff on my own. But yeah, the weirdest thing has been GameStop. Like, because GameStop, I don't even know if they've opened their doors yet, because like they had like this pickup thing, and every other business in town was open. But since GameStop had corporate orders, they had to stay shut and do curb deliveries only. And the whole fun of GameStop for me was just going there and looking around. Yeah, it is. Game over. The game is stopped. Yeah, I have a feeling they're going to get absorbed real quick into another company. I think someone already bought them out. It's idiotic for them to have run things the way that they did. Because I pulled up there to like see what was going on one day, and some guy just came out to the door like, "You gotta call first." I'm like, oh, okay. I will call first, as if I'll just go shopping at Target. Thank you. It's not as fun. It's not as fun shopping at Target. It's just not. I have this little gay place called it's called a Visit Stock, and they sell like used games and old school toys, comic books, records, and it's a chain called Vintage Stock, and so I like going shopping in there. It gives me the full thing that I wanted to do when I was going to GameStop, and then some. I think it has more to offer me as far as taking a little trip through memory lane in the comic book section. If I ever get a record player with a good needle on it, maybe buying some vinyl. Sure would love to sample some vinyl one day. But all these desires that I have right now, they can all be accomplished. Because all these things could be going into the production of our show. Because I plan to vary the content a lot. Anyway. What? I can barely hear you.
Let's talk about navigation and top navigation. More talk about sponsors.
Oh. I don't know if I want to talk about that stuff. I'm outside right now. What if the neighbor's here? It's really late and quiet. Mr. Mouse, I think we're going to call it a night to see how this went. I'm hoping that this recording is available to me immediately, so I check it out. Pop a screen on it, put it on Patreon, release another video saying that we have content on Patreon, and then eventually clipping some out and putting backgrounds on them. What I'd really like to do is have some kind of, I don't know, comic representation of some of the conversations. It would just make things interesting. Definitely put pictures up and images that are related to the flow of the conversation. Like, when we talked about AOC, or when we talked about Epstein, put an image up, kind of shows what we're talking about. I can be pretty quick with that. Yeah, I still don't understand why people are moving toward this. Just, I wish everyone would put out content and put out information, and it'd be real hard for them to censor the truth if it was coming from a billion different places. But Joe, I gotta let you go. It's late here. It's time I get some sleep. I have to eat tomorrow. I have to eat lots of delicious meat. Isn't it a treat to eat delicious meat? Are you asleep? Mr. Mouth, are you with me? Gotta say, I feel like I'm kind of speaking into the void, but it's alright. It's late. Speaking in hushed tones, possibly lull you to sleep. A little ASMR action going on, Hopefully, people will fall asleep listening to the content so that they listen to all of it. It looks better for the viewership when they've actually listened to the entire episode. So if people fall asleep listening to everything that we do, boom, trillionaires. We just have to find a way to make everyone fall asleep the second they start listening to us. That's how you get rich. Some people are starting to master this. Time for us to take it up to the next level. The apprentices will become the masters. Hey, you there? Well, anyway, I am going to hang up now.